Roblox has been around for almost 2 decades, and in that time, thousands upon thousands of Roblox games have come and gone, but only few has ever claimed the title as being the #1 Roblox game at the top of the front page. From simple sword fighting games in the late 2000s to games today about open world anime adventures and growing a garden, the history of #1 Roblox games start all the way back to the early days of Roblox in 2006 when the game first publicly launched. Yeah, there weren't millions of players and developers yet, but that doesn't mean there were none at all. Meet Shedlesky, a well-known Roblox admin who also made some of the most iconic games and maps in the early days of Roblox. These include Crossroads and Rocket Arena, with some of these maps still being used in many games today. From 2008 to 2010, there were many popular games that can be considered as #1, such as Chaos Canyons and Base Wars FPS, but since these were the early days of Roblox, there really wasn't a #1 game yet. Some of the most popular games did include Ultimate Paintball and Mini Game World, both created by Mike, but that seems about it. So fast forward to the early 2010s, where there were far more players and developers, leading many games to be on top of the front page with millions upon millions of visits, with some you may even know. Anyways, starting from 2010, there isn't a whole ton of information in these years, but it's safe to say that in 2010, Heli Wars Desert Attack, which is a 2-team military game by Truesome B, which was #1 for quite a while until it was surpassed by Survive the Disasters by the Furry Fox. Survive the Disasters is basically kind of similar to what natural disaster survival is today. Now from late 2011 to 2012, looking at the information from the official Roblox wiki, the #1 game would most likely be Base Wars The Land, created by Dark886, which was a team-based capture the flag FPS game and had accumulated over 15 million visits in 2012 alone. The game also won User's Choice Game of the Year at the Roblox Game Conference of 2012. Anyways, onto 2013, where Roblox began getting more and more active users and more games becoming increasingly popular, including Welcome to the Neighborhood of Robloxia, Paintball, and Call of Robloxia 5 Roblox at War. And similar to last year, another FPS game gaining over 13 million visits in 2013 alone, and #1 for the year was Paintball, created by Daxter33. It is an FPS paintball game, and yeah, that's it. It's not that complicated. The game unfortunately isn't functional anymore, but there are still many remakes of the game that are still playable to this day. 2014. Many iconic games were created this year, including Murder Mystery 2, Welcome to Bloxburg, and Prison Life, but these weren't as popular yet. This year is kind of tricky because the Roblox wiki just stopped keeping lists for popular games for whatever reason. But from what I can find, it seems like the two main games during 2014 were Base Wars and Call of Robloxia 5 Roblox at War, but it seems that just Call of Robloxia did have a slight edge over Base Wars, so there's that. 2015, of course, has to go to the absolute classic Work at a Pizza Place by Dweeb1, a game you probably have played before and is still popular to this day, where you and other players take up different roles and run a pizza shop, which is pretty simple. It's literally in the name. The game was also the first to reach 100 million total visits and is still popular with tens of thousands of players to this day. Also, it's still updated. Awesome. Now onto 2016, where you, the viewer, probably starts recognizing more and more of these games, as this year starts off with Roblox High School by Cinderine, which was basically just a high school roleplay game that is actually still up to this day, with Cinderine making a second version later on. Anyways, from late 2016 to about early 2017, Prison Life and Murder Mystery 2 were pretty even in popularity, but Murder Mystery 2 did seem to have a bit more monthly players, so the #1 spot would go to it, until 2017, when the #1 spot then became Meat City. Anyways, from mid-2017 to late 2019, nothing much changed in terms of the #1 Roblox game. Jailbreak did become extremely popular and did become #1 at some point during mid-2018, while averaging about the same monthly active users, but never really fully surpassed Meat City in terms of active players. Both games reached 1 billion total visits in about early 2018, but Meat City did reach it first. By late 2019, Ninja Legends and Adopt Me had basically taken over Roblox, with Adopt Me taking the overall #1 spot, which it held for quite a while, reaching about 1 billion monthly visits on April 2020, and continuously achieving this against Tower of Hell and Piggy throughout 2020. March of 2021 when it was surpassed by Brookhaven Roleplay. Brookhaven held the #1 title for quite a while, until September of 2022 when it was eventually surpassed by Blox Fruits. From mid-2022 all the way to mid-2025, both these two games held the title as the #1 Roblox game, as both of them averaged well over 1 billion monthly visits, with some months where Brookhaven had more monthly visits while other months where Blox Fruits had more monthly visits. Starting from April 2022 to April 2025, which is when Brookhaven and Blox Fruits held the #1 and #2 spots respectively. Out of the 36 months, Blox Fruits had more monthly visits for 22 months, but they were by pretty small margins, and they can both be considered #1. So this does mean that Brookhaven is technically #1 for these 3 years, but that choice can be up to you, the viewer, to decide whichever one you think is #1. And while you're at it, you can leave a comment about it or something, and while you're doing that, you can also like and subscribe or something. I don't really like asking people to like and subscribe. Anyways, here are some honorable mentions from late 2022 all the way to early 2025. All these games had some of the most monthly visits in that time frame, but didn't quite reach that #1 spot because of Brookhaven and Blox Fruits having more. From late 2022 to early 2023, there was Doors and Pet Simulator X. From mid-2023 to mid-2024, there was Murder Mystery 2, Blade Ball, The Strongest Battlegrounds, and Toilet Tower Defense. From mid-2024 to early 2025, there was Murder Mystery 2, The Strongest Battlegrounds, Dress to Impress, Fish, and Rivals. Also in April of 2025, Dead Wheels did become the most popular and had the most monthly visits for that month. But now for the #1 Roblox game today. Yeah, it of course is Grow Garden, just no surprises. It has basically constantly 2 million concurrent players at once every day, reaches about 20 million concurrent players at once during an update, and has over, according to the Roblox wiki, has over 8 billion monthly active users or visits. This of course brings up the question of why a simple game such as Grow Garden and maybe even Steal a Brainrot is so popular these days, and well, simplicity is actually one of the reasons. The game is simple and easy to understand, meaning that basically anyone can easily just play and enjoy the game. The next reason is that the game isn't really pay to win. Anything you can buy with Robux, you're basically able to get from grinding and playing the game normally. And this creates a more fair gaming experience, as some may say, meaning more people would be willing to play the game as well, since it's fair and people who pay money don't have a huge advantage. So yeah, that's the complete history of #1 Roblox games, and who knows what game will be next to claim the #1 title and how long Grow Garden would hold that title, or even. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, comment your thoughts or anything I possibly missed, and yeah, hope to see you next video.